that Erodicilee found distasteful. "This region of Earth, what the natives called the Outback, is known for having the most dangerous animals. You need to be careful. Even humans who are non-native to this region understand this." As it spoke, the white and brown cloth that covered its torso bulged in and out, making it look fat one moment and skinny the next. "That is why I have my bodyguard. Julep can protect me from any threat." At his mummy's words, the third member of their group stepped closer. Erodicilee let his tongue loll out once again and gave a happy yip at his approach. He knew this being. He was often with them when they went on walks. In a similar fashion to his mummy, scales covered his form, though he had large muscles and a long snout filled with sharp teeth instead of her flatter face. He also wore a solid grey and white material that left his arms uncovered. Erodicilee had bitten it once and still remembered how hard it was. Erodicilee much preferred the softer white material that covered his mummy's upper body, though the brown material that covered her legs was nice to gnaw at and dislodge things from his teeth. However, she pushed him away whenever he tried for too long. Mummy's friend also carried a device similar to the yellow creature. However, he'd slotted his into a brown band that ringed one of his arms. Erodicilee blinked at him and then kicked his paws in the air to get closer. His pats weren't as good as his mummy's, but Erodicilee wasn't about to miss out. As he strained, he noticed the subtle spike of fear filling the air as the newcomer moved away from him. "Please do not shoot at your client. I don't believe I should need to tell you that." Again the yellow creature waved its three appendages through the air as its body inflated and deflated. The bulbous eyes protruding from the top of its bulbous head twirled around before it dropped face first onto the ground with all its arms outstretched. Erodicilee sniffed the air and barked. He didn't understand why the creature was marking its territory here, but he didn't like it. "I am sorry, but this trip makes me nervous. I have never had an esteemed guest such as you with me. All I wish for is your safety." The stench of excitement from the display wafted from his mummy, and Erodicilee's tail wagged energetically behind him. He loved it when his mummy was pleased. Her being happy made him happy. He loved being happy, the fresh smells, and the treats he could smell nearby. With a yip, he buried his nose into the cloth container she carried slung over her shoulder. She made a rhythmic barking sound that often accompanied the current scent. "Is Mummy's boy hungry? Is that why you disobeyed Mummy?" He yipped when she repeated that bark, as he knew he should. That earned him a strange cooing sound as she placed him on the ground. Without needing to be told, he reared up on his hind legs and stuck out his tongue. His fur waved about him as he spun around on his hind legs. She slapped her scaled hands together, and only once she stopped did he turn to face her, mouth open. "Good boy." Erodicilee panted and resisted the urge to leap at the treat tube she pulled out and held aloft. Only when she tossed it up did he spring up, landing well before it did as he caught it in his mouth. Fur moved out to wrap around it, keeping it steady as he devoured the snack. It tasted like blood and meat and made his rumbling stomach go quiet. While he focused on his meal, he allowed himself to drop back onto all fours as he listened to his mummy bark with the others. Should you be feeding him meat?" The warbling creature barked as it rose from the dirt. Red dust stained the brown that covered his legs, and he used two of his appendages to wipe at it. His mummy repeated that rhythmic sound. "Please, there isn't a single living creature's meat in that tube. The creators designed it specifically for my precious boy. And no disrespect to the esteemed guest, but you don't find that terrifying?" Fear wafted from the creature, and his mummy snapped his fingers. With a quick gulp to finish his treat, Erodicilee flipped onto his back and spread out his legs. He yipped and snuffled as he wiggled about. It was a trick his mummy had taught him whenever she brought other creatures.